Today's episode is brought to you by Skillshare.
Oh, hey. Welcome back to another episode of Bad Flashes. In today's episode, we're going to actually talk about something that cripples literally everyone. And no, I am not talking about diarrhea. If gone unchecked, it will stop you from doing anything. Taking you from, oh, I could have done that, to, no, I can do that. Specifically, we're going to talk about darkroom printing, the highest form of experiencing your work. And that's why we're in here today, because technically this is my darkroom, and I sometimes just poo in here too. I've had an enlarger for a while now, and for the longest time, I always said, no, I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna start making prints. I just never did for almost an entire year. But that's kind of what this whole thing's about. It's just doing it, starting it. Today, I thought I'd invite you into my darkroom. Really, this toilet is just an art piece. So what I really wanted to do is give you that extra push. If you've ever thought about darkroom printing, this is gonna be kind of a quick setup guide on how to just start. So let's just start. Now, I gotta tell you, this is not gonna be a comprehensive guide on how to set up the best darkroom or even how to make the best prints. No, this is just how to set it up just to begin, just to start. Because the biggest hurdle on literally anything in life is starting. So obviously, to get started, you're gonna want an enlarger and a negative that you want to print. Also, photo paper is very handy. You'll also want some timers. These guys, you can get online for fairly cheap used. That one looks like garbage, but you can also use a normal hair dye timer. You'll also want a safe light. You'll also need some chemicals. You have your developer right there with a tray. You'll also need a stop bath with a tray and some fixer with a tray. Also, don't forget another tray for water. You need to wash your prints. This right here is all you need to start making some prints. That's all you need. A couple other things are extremely handy. Now you can bare expose a print right there, but if you want to make sure your photo is going to be flat, an easel is a great tool for making sure you have a flat and evenly exposed print. Another thing you will almost absolutely want is a grain focuser. That makes sure your print is tack sharp to the grain structure of your film. Now, it's not imperative for your very first print. To be honest, your first print's gonna suck anyway. Once you start down this path, you're gonna want to make sure your prints are 100% in focus. One thing that's going to be increasingly important when making prints is a notebook so that you can write down all the different times that you are exposing a piece of paper to light, especially for different prints. So, think about that. Developer. Go. The good thing about the stop and the fixer is it's the same for negatives. Now, I am also gonna say I'm kind of embarrassed by the washing portion that I do for my prints, but that's only because I don't have a proper solution right now. But at the end of the day, this does work. So just having it in the sink, agitating it, running water, it works. I will need a better solution in the future, so I'll just give you that. I think it's time to turn the lights off. So for the sake of your demonstration, I'm not going to use my grain focuser or my easel. That's pretty good right there. Let's do a test strip, baby. Good thing about black and white paper is you can have the safe light on, so you don't have to be in complete darkness. So this test strip will tell us how many seconds we want to expose the image for. The good thing about having a timer like this is that you can just allow the timer to turn off your enlarger. Okay, that's basically it right there. Now I'm gonna use this top timer for a minute, because that's what the developer needs. Put it in, put the timer on for a minute, and and we're just gonna watch this bad boy do its thing. We wanna get an even coating over the entirety of it. After a minute, there's just something about being able to see this process and just looking at your image on a piece of paper. Like a 20-second stop. This paper needs to fix for about 3 minutes, FYI. You have just made your very first print. Isn't that pretty spectacular? Let's examine. Here is our test strip. We have 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm liking the Roy sign at 8 seconds, but 6 seconds probably isn't bad either. Let's do a 6-second exposure on the paper to get an image for us. I'm gonna say 6 seconds on the timer. 1 minute on the timer. Wow. It's time for some stop. And now we fix. And there's a print. Look at that. We have ourselves a print. Did you see that? Did you see that? Out of thin air, we just made a print. How amazing is that? Is it the best, most creative decision we could have made? No. Is it far from perfect? Yeah. But we made a print. Hang it up on your wall. Give it to your mom. She'll love it. That just is the first step. You can continuously make decisions to make your prints better. Maybe you want more contrast. Maybe you need to add a little bit more time or light to your picture. All of that stuff is possible. And it's just the start. So let's do it again. So now that we've made our first print together, I wanted to do a little post-mortem. You know, those meetings that you never have with your boss after a big project. I'm not gonna lie to you, making good prints takes time. After nearly exposing 50 sheets, I've only really liked 5 of my prints. That's not a good ratio. But every time you go into the darkroom, you get a little bit more experience and then get better at your prints. And honestly, I've learned quite a few techniques on Skillshare, which is today's sponsor. By now you should know what Skillshare is, but if you've been inside your dark bag for way too long, I'll break it down for you. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers a bunch of classes that further your creative journey. They have tons to choose from. Classes on music, art, crafts, web designs, pick one. Pick them all. One class that I keep going back to, which has helped me with my darkroom printing, is a class by Johan about darkroom printing and split grade printing. I almost exclusively split grade print now. The great thing is that these classes are less than an hour, so you can get back to the darkroom in no time. For the first 1,000 people who use the link in my description below will receive a 1-month trial to Skillshare's premium membership. So what are you waiting for? Let's go learn some darkroom printing. To me, making prints in the darkroom is so much fun. Film developing is necessary. Making prints is art. I haven't been printing long, but it has changed my mindset on the film stocks I end up using. Shooting Ortho 80 versus HP 5 actually makes a difference when printing in the darkroom. Printing this photo of my brother was way easier than, say, this photo of Yosemite. And this photo I showed you earlier of the Roy sign explores different techniques and times for the final image. There's always a reason not to do something. But in the end, it's better to start than not. It may not be perfect, but at least you tried. And maybe someday it will be. So, just start.